Hello everyone, I'm here today with a new process video, and as you can see I've got a double pager happening here. These are photos from Santa Fe, New Mexico. We went to Loretto Chapel as our first major stop once we had checked into our hotel and got everything settled. So you can see those photos here. I do have a layout on the previous page talking about it, so that's why there's no real journaling spot here. I don't feel like I really need another card. The only thing I would consider is maybe like cutting down one of these two photos a little bit, and then you could see a colored background in there. So if I feel like I needed to do that, I would. And in looking at this, I would consider red, because you've got the red banner here in the middle and then some showing in the window here and here. Maybe that would add something, but I would have to really find the right background. And then for over here, I have a 5x7 enlargement. This is a 6x8 page. There will be a little bit showing, which is what I wanted. I also need a background for that. And I'm not quite sure what to do. Black feels way too dark. White feels way too light. I do have kind of this off-white cream, very yellow tinted kind of feel happening here. So I could do something there. I don't think I have any specialty paper left that is gold foil, or I know I had one for a while that I think was an acetate with like a gold stripe. I think I've used that. I could check for it though. But I'm a little stumped at the start here what to do for this background. Cutting one of these and making a red pocket card behind it, easy. Like no problem with that. This is the real challenge. All right. I have found something, but it might be a little crazy. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I think of it, or if it's the right kind of feel or vibe that I want. I decided to go and look at my specialty papers to see if I did have any of that gold striped acetate left. And I don't, but I found this. It's a red striped piece of acetate, 8x8, so it would fit. It's from the Christmas cheer line from Pretty Little Studio, so clearly meant for the holidays. Now, this was the holiday. Clearly, it's decorated that way. Christmas was coming. But it's very, very bold. I mean, look at that. The red definitely matches. And I wouldn't just put it on there. I would probably maybe cut a little bit off the photo this side and then do a very, very thin, probably white matte, but I could also do like a cream colored matte if I wanted to, just to break it up a little. But I don't know. I'm a little scared of this. I feel like it might be too much. What are your opinions? Yes? No? I'm going to leave it sit there, and I'm going to see if I have any like cream colored or off-white paper big enough to be a matte for this, or if I'd have to cut into a new sheet. So while I'm doing that, I'll be thinking about this. Do I really want this background? I forgot that before Close to My Heart decided to close their business, I ordered some cardstock, and this is the French vanilla cardstock. And when you just see it like this, it kind of looks white. It seems like it matches well anyway though, but I just want to show there is a difference. This is white. This is French vanilla. So this is an off-white. I think I'm going to cut it because I have a whole package of it that I forgot I had. I'm going to cut down a piece of this to become a matte and just see what it looks like. There it is with the matte cut. And you know what? I think I'm going to do it. I have nothing else planned for this. If I really like this, they tend to keep their stuff around a while. I could probably reorder it. I don't remember how old it is, but I could always check. So you know what? I don't want to just keep hoarding it. I'm going to use it. All right, so I've cut that down to just be a 6x8. And of course that leaves me with a 2x8 strip. For me, that's great because I have multiple styles of page protectors that either have a 2x8 slot or 2x2 pockets. So I won't get rid of this. I will actually keep it and add it to my red scraps. Since I have everything ready to go there, I'm just going to adhere this. And I just want it centered. Top, bottom, left, right, the whole thing. And then I will figure out how I will embellish it. Now, I will say, I do have, hold on. Is that pretty centered? Yeah, actually, I think that looks good. I will say that I have a sticker sheet. Let me grab it here. There are still some crosses left on it that I've been using. I almost feel like this is too much for this layout. I do have another one coming that's also of the inside of this. So maybe I could use it on that one. But I feel like here it's too much, maybe. Because I've already got cross symbolism there. And here, actually, it's peeking out. So the only way I could really do it is maybe if I did it like up here. This one's kind of interesting. It's got an interesting pattern. Is the camera picking that up? There we go. It looks better like that. Where maybe I could use that to kind of go with this style. The rest of these, I don't feel like they really fit. So that cross I was looking at is silver. And I don't think that's a good match here. There's a lot of gold just in yellow tones happening. So I think silver is not the way to go. If I do anything embellishment wise, I would think maybe black gold would be the way, black or gold would be the way to go. And then I'm still contemplating a possible red card over here. I pulled out these red scraps just to see what I liked better. And I think this is too bright. I feel like this is a better match for the red that we see in there as well as here. So I do think, because there's already red in this photo, I'm going to cut this one. There's a lot of dead space at the bottom, so that's totally fine. I can cut that down. I'll cut this to a 3x4, and then I'm in business. I have cut down the photo, and I decided to not only just trim off the bottom, but I also cut off a little bit from both of the sides so that it would fit better and you could see the red background. And I definitely like how that looks. So when it's sitting in the pocket, you'll see a nice border there. It also leaves me enough room that I could stamp something here if I wanted to. And I'm thinking about doing black because then it would help bring in the black of the staircase there too. And then I just need to figure out my embellishments around the page. And again, still thinking black and gold. I don't have anything picked out yet, but I'll do that next. I'm ready to do my stamping on here before I do my embellishments. So I have everything ready here. I've got my ink out. I'm using my Memento Tuxedo Black. I've got my stamp on there. It says worth every step, which I thought was appropriate because we were walking around town and there are stairs. So, you know, just gonna ink it up, make sure it's covered enough. I know I've used this one before, so I don't need to season it or anything. Should be fine. All right, and then I'm gonna go as centered as possible. There we go. Get the ink off of there. And then did I get it straight? It looks like it might be slightly crooked. No, I think it's pretty good actually. All right, so now that's done. I pulled out my black and white pieces of ephemera to see like what I could use, and I pulled out a couple of things. I have these two pennants. For the record, you are here, those would both work. And I'm not sure like if I would put them on this side or this side. Then I have this long phrase. This was so worth the wait. And I had it sitting there to see like, what did I think of it? Does it look okay? Then I have this one currently, which like I could just put over here. That would be fine. And it's interesting that most of these are black background with white font, and this is the opposite. I think I almost prefer the black. And for this one, I wouldn't use it as is. I think I would cut it down and like make it a phrase strip. I could even create like a point of a pendant at the end if I wanted it, but I could also put that over here or here even. Probably better over here just because there's more neutral background to work with. But those are some of the items I have. I'm still going to get out my yellow stuff and see if I have any gold embellishments in there. I know I do, but I don't. I think one of them says like relax or something like that. Well, that doesn't really go for this, but we'll see what's in there. Well, I didn't find anything in my yellow stuff that was actually gold that I liked for this. But then I remembered I have these. So I want to see if I can maybe use these for something. Now, they are darker than most of what is in here, but there is enough kind of like this filigree that's up here, and you can kind of see it over here in the background stuff, that maybe I could do that and it would sort of brighten it up a little bit. And then I noticed this underneath of the staircase actually looks more copper. These actually aren't that far off. I don't know if I have copper ones. I feel like I would. Maybe I'll go look for those too before I put any of these on there. The only other enamel dots like this I found were silver. Slightly lighter shade, but still silver. So I guess I don't have copper ones of that. But then I remembered in my old stash of stuff, I have these brads in here. And they're like kind of filigree brads. And they're very copper. Whoops, in the way they look. And then there are different sizes. So I've got the bigger ones, medium and smaller here. But look at the tops of those. Hopefully the camera's showing those nicely. I mean, I think these would certainly match well. And once again, how long have these been sitting in my stash? I bet it's at least 5 years. I need to use them or get rid of them. So I'm going to use them here. All right, so I've done some things here. I've got my stamping done on here. It went well. I put it in the pocket. I cut this down like I said I would. So now I have that available. Haven't adhered it yet, obviously. And then over here, I still have this phrase sitting here, but I did decide to use those brads, and I did kind of one of each size and type, and I just spaced them out from each other, and they all have a little bit different color. This is more pewter. This is a little bit more like a matte gold, very dark gold. This is more of a copper. And I didn't realize that at first. I thought they were all the same color. They are not. But I think that works here because there are multiple shades and multiple things happening. And then I debated putting maybe one of the matching ones over here somewhere, but I really didn't like it. So decided not to do that. I do think I want this here. However, I don't know that I even need this now. When I look at it like this, I feel like it's balanced. I've got 1, 2, 3 things. If I do this, then I have 4, and I'm not sure that it looks right. So I don't like these both at the bottom. I almost feel like then this makes it too busy. Yeah, you know what? I think I like it best like this. So I'm going to adhere this and then maybe put in a staple at the end. That might be enough, but I'll reassess once I have that done. All right, there we go. I have it attached. I did decide to clip off a little bit at this end. I felt like the space was a little too wide there. And I kept it on this end just so I'd have room for that staple. But here, when I look at these together, I think it's done. I don't think I need to add anything else. So here's another one finished for New Mexico. Thanks for watching.